Gaming is culture.
You fucking whiny whore.
Gaming.
Then why don't you go back home, you fucking Aussie cunt? See, everyone loves to talk about how much they hate the U.S., but none of them actually want to live in their shithole country they came from.
I just launched.
What a shock. Go take your Jeep boyfriend back to fucking Australia and go get stabbed to death by aboriginals because they want the gas that you're putting in your car. Yeah, everybody's happy to come to the U.S. to extract as much money as they can, but they sure do hate it, man. Interesting how that works.
Liquid assets. My official GamerSubs flavor. Code-based pink.
I kind of got addicted to. So about.
Addicted to.
Oh, it gives.
I've never heard addicted to. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So about 80-90% of my income was going to support these strong, independent women or help them pay for.
80 to 90% legitimately?
Yeah, about
What is it? What is? How do you even?
What the to what? OnlyFans bitches?
I get my paycheck and I go to clubs and just.
Like, how much was your paycheck?
Oh, strippers. Dude, that's crazy. He wasted all of his money on fucking strippers?
About anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 a month. A week, every 2 weeks, I mean.
And you just
Yeah.
get them in ones and let it fly?
Oh, yeah.
Were you paying to have sex with them?
No.
Okay.
It's illegal. I catch a felony.
Well, yeah, no. But that's a lot of money to spend. How do you spend that much?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend that much at a strip club, you at least should get laid.
Clubs.
So usually how it works is you got money for dances where you just fling ones on them, or you could go pay for private dances, which is about 3 minutes. It's very strict.
3 minutes?
Yeah, it's usually the length of the song.
What do you even... hide the kids for a moment. What do you even get from that? I've never been to a club. I'm boring.
You want to go?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, I haven't been either.
It'll be fun.
I'm okay. But what, like, it's a dance.
Are you a virgin?
No. I was going to ask someone who spends $2,000 a week on strippers if they're a virgin. I don't have to pay for my...
Well, I just think about it like this. It's way easier just to pay some to give me fake attention than go try to spit game.
Okay.
I can just go through them one after
That's facts, bro.
another, and I don't have to worry about, hi, my name's Jessica.
Yeah, but you don't get anything emotional from that. You also don't get anything, like, conclusive.
It's purely for the lust.
Yeah. Like, it's an endless edge.
I guess so. But
Yeah, just hire a fucking whore, bro.
What, you went into debt for this? That's where I'm a little confused.
yeah, so I had a credit card and I think it was about $5,000 or $8,000 that I took out and just spent on.
No. That's wild. It's an addicting thing for some people. So is, and I guess it just wouldn't be surprising that this thing that's adjacent to all that could be considered addicting. Do you do this anymore?
And I stopped about maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Was that hard?
It was difficult.
Did you like wake up one day and you're like, I don't want to be in a stinky, sticky...
Dude, there are people who literally just go to strip clubs and they just drink, bro. Like, that shit, I don't know. That's like super depressing. Like, they will just go to a fucking strip club to just sit there and fucking pound beers. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? You're just hanging out in the fucking strip club, drinking fucking piss water light, you know, looking at a bunch of nasty, just butched fucking went like nah, absolutely fucking not, bro. Like botched job, fucking fake tits and tattooed whores. No thanks.
Smoky area with fake that have no emotional connection to me.
Now, what made me quit was we were doing a mission and I lost my cat card during the
What's
transit.
that?
It's your little military ID.
Okay.
So you need it for everything.
Sure.
So basically, since all my money was going towards, when I lost that, I had no money and no way to eat. So I just starved for like 2 weeks.
And the starving was an awakening to no longer.
Yeah, it was
See
a wake
people
up
on
call
poles?
to. It's like,
Okay.
hey, maybe I shouldn't spend this much money on,
And going to that
and maybe
much
have
fat.
some cash.
Is this Navy Federal right here? Is that some of the? Is this leftover?
No,
Okay.
I paid all that debt off.
You did, and then you went into more debt. So what the happened then? So what even is this? So what is this? Because it's sitting near a limit, and you do not make insignificant amount of money. So Navy Federal, $7,092.23. What are we doing? How'd you build this all the way up? $380 of purchases, even though there's $105. You 7 out of 10. You me with the 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I better cope laugh about that. $105 of interest accruing, $380 of purchases, but we only did the minimum monthly payment, and now we're only a few hundred dollars away from the balance being at the max.
For that one.
Yes, for this one, no the one I'm talking about. So what the is going on here? Why is this high, and why are you spending money on it? The other night, as I was settling on the couch for a movie night, it hit me. Room, I was hungry, my grass feel good. Your help, serious, and absolute. One thing finally,
I don't really
where do you want to get to?
know what I purchased on that.
What are you trying to do? What are you here for? What do you want to do? Where do you want to get to? You don't even know what this does, like where your money comes from on this? Where you spend? Like what are you trying? What do we want to get out of this conversation?
So usually, I take approach of just stockpiling cash. I really don't want to pay back my debts.
Stockpiling is you can't pay this off. I know what your savings are like. You can't pay this off. Stockpiling cash, you brought in $6,799 last month. You spent $8,562 stockpiling cash. You spent. You blow it out. It's like this never went away. Those ones are flying. But instead of ones, now they're hundreds.
Now there's legitimate reasons for that decrease. So I was getting my house appraised because I was going to get like $30,000 cash deposited and the credit cards paid off from the equity on my home.
No. Okay. Why? Okay.
So it was going to be like 5.23% for I think $40,000 or $50,000.
Would that solve your issue though? Because you already paid off the stripper debt. Now you're right back up at the credit limit, and you can't stop spending $380. Your balance went from $6,774 to $7,093. How is taking out any kind of equity from your home and transferring the debt to there going to help here? Because you're just going to spend all your way back into it as you've already done again. So how does this actually help?
So it would get rid of the credit card debt,
Yeah, no
and then I would also have a large pile of cash just in case. So I wouldn't
cash. Why do you? Okay.
just make a big old pile of cash.
Why do you make
Take the cash to the strip club.
$85,000 a year?
I'm impatient.
So we take out leverage
Take out leverage.
against the house that already has a mortgage.
Yeah.
And then the credit cards go to zero and then right back up to $7,500 probably because your behavior won't have changed by you doing that. You just moved a pile.
But most of the money would have just sat in the savings account.
What enough? Because you just spent, you spend more than you make. And then on here, buddy, it's $126 from Twitch. Oh, and then another $249 from Twitch. The
Damn.
are you doing on Twitch? This better not be to the virtual versions of.
Gifting subs to Pokimane.
So they're just twerking ass and they have their live stream on their ass because they have green screen booty cheeks.
Okay, first off, it's more wholesome than that. Second off, I'm a Sigma male. I can just go to a strip club and get some booty that way. So I don't need OnlyFans or.
It's not getting booty, it's looking at booty, to be very clear.
Well, you get to touch it.
You do?
As long as you don't put any fingers in any holes where you bite them, you can touch them.
Bite. Those are the two. Bite. Whole finger.
Yeah, you can't lick them,
Bruh.
you can't bite them, you can't put
Okay.
fingers in any holes.
Good fuck. Stop being such a deviant. What do you watch on Twitch?
What about Finger 11, dude?
Because
So this only that so the Twitch only was three
$400
separate incidents.
of $400. Yep, go ahead.
So what I would do, there's what's his name? It's Pirate Soft or whatever. Anyway,
What?
it's a streamer,
Okay.
and I would just go onto YouTube and just crash his UI with donations.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
It's only happened 3
Because
times.
he's getting money, but it's crashing. So I don't. Is that a good thing or bad thing?
It's entertaining for me.
No, is it good for him or bad for him?
I don't know.
Do you have no empathy?
I think I got empathy.
Your little cheeky little smile. It is beyond interesting. It's not the word I wanted to say.
Sexy.
absolutely not the word I wanted to say, which is why you have to go to strip clubs.
So the first instance was
You spent $400 to virtually have fun
so in total it's 1,500.
over the course of when? 1,500 over
Bruh.
for when? This month?
No,
This previous statement?
no, it caps out at 500
Per month.
per day.
Then that didn't negate what I just said. So 1,500 this last month?
So 500 December, I think January, February.
What does it do?
It makes me feel good.
No, what does it do? Just explain it to me, because I'm a little stupid.
So when there's a live stream,
Yeah.
there's memberships.
I wish I could spend what on cards? His home equity loan? Sure.
You can donate memberships
Yeah.
to other people. What I would do would go on, spend $500, and give like 2, maybe 300 people memberships. Then immediately leave.
Okay. I'm so confused. What is that?
Dude, we need to link in my channel.
What's the outcome of that?
It makes me feel good.
But what's
inside.
the entertaining part of it? Oh, is it like the gifting? The
Yeah.
gifting aspect of it? Okay, so you feel good giving. But you talked about this crash thing, so that's why I'm confused.
crash thing?
Yeah, you said it like breaks his...
Oh yeah. So it's so much so fast it just breaks the YouTube UI.
Uh-huh. How long is he down?
The entire stream.
Yeah, he can't restart?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not around long enough to see.
Okay. I don't get this. Why is this worth literally taking... Buddy, you're taking equity out of your home to do Twitch donations. Do you understand that? That's how this is working. You know how absolutely borderline aggressively stupid that is? Aggressively stupid.
What can I say? You gotta yell.
Shut the fuck up. You're being a little... Are you taking this seriously? What are we doing here? You gotta be a little YOLO. What the fuck?
Come over here, bro. He's like the dream viewer. He just donates and leaves. That's fire, man. We need him over here. Quick $500 a month. Sounds like a great deal. User with the two guys walk. What the fuck is this? This is gay shit. I'm not watching it. We discriminate against gay people on this stream. You can imagine how this goes. Okay, it's 2 minutes. That's fine.
I can't afford this shit!
And SSS frequency with the 2. Imagine wasting money donating to a stream. I know, dude. Imagine. Now imagine doing $500 at one time and then fleeing. You donate the $500, go and then run away. What the fuck, man? That's so weird.
I just launched Liquid
Ass. Oh god, dude. The average San Francisco couple.
Oh, earlier, yeah.
You
Like,
were crying before we started?
Dude, I would absolutely kill myself before I did this.
it's a
What the
sensitive topic.
What is?
It's just stress. It's like back when I think about the stress back then, it's just it gets me just really upset. Like I have to be upset
Why?
again.
What happened?
It's just
Being told you kind of blew up. What?
oh yeah, that blew up.
What? Well, I mean,
so
I've had arguments with my girl as well. What did you say?
well, the went
whatever.
kind of like physical.
It went physical. Who was physical?
I'm being physical.
You were physical.
Yeah.
What the f did you do?
So the first time was the time I tried to wake him up to take care of the kids, and he refused. And he literally lay in bed, and
But I was working 1 to 11, and
okay.
and
what
we
does that have to do with anything? Hey,
because if I'm working 1 to 11, I don't have to wake up at 8.
okay. So what did you do? Physical?
well, so I would say like I started physical fight, but
No. What did you do?
I was banging him like a Donkey Kong, basically.
She was punching.
I
Just
bruised-
out of nowhere?
No, I pull his blanket, right? I pull his blanket. I say, you're going to get the fuck up and watch the kids, because I fed the kids. I changed their diaper. They're all good to go. They're clean. They just need someone to watch them. But he refused, so I pulled the blanket, and then he pulled the blanket back up. I say, I need you to get the fuck up.
Any other adults in the house though?
Okay, but she
Like
started hitting you? Like what hitting you?
Okay, so I pulled the blanket, and then he got pissed off. He jumped straight in my face, like this close. like literally like his nose about to touch my nose. So my reflection just
Why'd you do that? Why'd you get all up in her face?
Because it was like 30 minutes of her trying to get me out of bed, yelling at me.
Yeah,
And-
like usually like I'm not trying to justify what I did, but usually when it started is whenever he get really close to my face. And what's more
Which way, Western man?
upsetting is he would say, "No, I didn't do it." Because back when we were dating, he actually did it one time. And
What, got in your face?
No, it's more than that. He got drunk and then he was on top of me and then started slapping me.
What?
And I bit him on the shoulder to
What the?
to get him like to stop.
Wait. Oh,
I mean, I know I'm a big Asian.
wait, hold
I'm
on.
strong.
Wait. What about being drunk makes you want to pin her down and start hitting her?
I think that time because I told him, I said, "You're drunk. You're acting crazy. You need to go to bed." And then he said, "No, you don't tell me what to do." And
Is
then
that when you tried to run out?
after you slapped me, yeah,
Yeah.
I bit his shoulder and then I ran out, and he chased me.
She was trying to leave
He
at
chased me.
whatever o'clock at night with her suitcases, trying to get out the door.
Okay, so let her.
No, we didn't live in a good area. And she was brand new here. She had just came here from Taiwan.
Well,
Dude, she f***ing slung Glucky on the streets of Taiwan. She could survive in the suburb of an outer borough of Houston.
No.
She
Yeah,
could.
Wait, he married a fucking Taiwanese whore? Oh my god, bro. Jesus Christ, dude. Come on, bro. Leave this bitch.
but so he chased me down the hall.
The other night, as I was settling on
Dude, I couldn't even imagine this being me, bro. You know, I would swan dive onto a concrete fucking, parking lot from a 10-story building before this is my life. That shit's crazy, bro.
Because I thought he was gonna attack me
well,
more.
yeah. Well,
So
before that, what do you mean slapping you while you're sitting down? Was it just like actually like,
No, he was like this, back and
like
forth.
silly?
No,
Like,
hard. No, like hard. And then he was sitting on top of me and started slapping me. And then so that was the first time, and then that was before I ever.
But you were running down the hall then.
Yeah, and then he chased me and then acting scary because I was from that childhood. My dad used to physically abuse my mom, like chasing
wrong
her
with you, dude?
or hit my mom with a fan.
No,
and he
I
had
was-
I haven't used that one yet. I'm gonna use that as my next
yeah,
weapon.
my dad used an industrial fan to hit my
Oh, an
mom.
industrial
yeah,
one?
not the little one. And then,
Man, I gotta upgrade my abuse.
yeah, and then my mom had what was that? My dad had a knife against my mom's throat, and all that. So people
The
chasing.
Yakuza.
Yeah, so people chasing. Scary. I turned around. I saw the island. I turned around. I grabbed a fork and say. I didn't even grab a knife. I grabbed a fork. I said, "You need to stay."
I know the first thing you think about every day is grabbing a fork.
But yeah,
Or
so
chopsticks.
but I told him, I was like, "You need to get away from me." And then he started laughing, like, "What the fuck are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do?" And then I was like, "I'm just gonna go to the backyard and leave me the fuck alone." And his parents were out of town, so it was just us. So I slept through that night.
All because she told you to go to bed?
Wake up.
No, that's a different thing.
This was when
Oh.
you were drunk and she said go to bed. And you're like,
yeah.
"You ain't got time to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What? But I've never personally started abusing my girl because she said go to bed.
yeah, I don't know. He was drunk, and then I wanted to get.
Well, maybe you should. Why the fuck does she think she has the right to tell you to go to bed?
Get away, so I spent the night in the backyard. And then he woke up, and then I said, "Oh, you did this and that." He said, "Well, I don't remember. You were lying." I said, "Your shoulder is bit. It's bruised." And he was like, "What the f would you bit me?" And then I was like, "No, you attacked me first."
I mean, I think abuse is abuse.
Well, okay, so he got in your face at the
Right.
house the next time, and then your instinct was,
Just I got to fight back.
so what did you do?
I pushed him, and then sit on top of him. I start like pounding him.
What? Where? On his chest?
Yeah,
Mhm.
What the f? That's really interesting.
his chest and I think ribs.
Yeah.
You're just laying there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get really strong when I was upset.
The
Oh,
the
you
first
couldn't?
one I was super drunk. That not defending it, but
Sounded like you're trying.
I was super drunk. That's the reason I acted like that. But with this one, I'm not gonna fight back or anything.
Again, everyone can hate the rich, but do you have the courage to hate the poor?
But yeah, she
well,
was
no,
pounding,
that's why I
she
think
was
you
pounding
can
me.
fight back actually when you're under attack.
Yes,
I just,
yeah.
well, I don't think anyone should hit each other first, but especially as a man, you shouldn't get on her and start slapping her.
Yeah.
But I think yes, if someone is attacking you, you can attack back.
But I didn't. That's
No.
where it messed up my rib.
Oh wait, but then Okay, then there was another incident. I'm being told. What the? Why was there another incident?
So that
I guess he punched in this one.
yeah, he did.
What? What
Well, no, she
happened?
punched first, and then this time I defended myself.
Why? What happened? Why are you guys so violent first?
It's just like a long time of having to take care of everybody for me and
she's not
him.
the
What happened in
submissive-
this third instance?
Incognito wizard with the two looking at this couple is brutal. I know, man. Exactly. This is a like, yeah. No, thank you.
And so,
The third instant is
Yeah.
Afford this shit!
Again, rope is preferable to that future.
You guys wonder why
Alright, we can skip the intro.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
King of Hearts, thanks to $5. Not sure if you've seen Basic Logic. Yeah, I have, but his vids are short but good. Okay, we can watch a Basic Logic vid that I haven't seen, just because, I mean, I figure... Yeah, this is good. This works.
The Strait of Hormuz is the trade route responsible for 25% of the world's seaborne oil trade, and it's been all but cut off due to the US-Iran war, leading to a global economic disaster. Oil is essential. It's not just energy production. It powers transportation, logistics, manufacturing, even food production. When oil gets disrupted, everything gets disrupted. So what's really behind this war that would be worth this immense cost? Killing large
Griffin would beat his girl if she didn't want to look at his Pokemon cards? No, it'd more so be if she touched him without permission.
numbers of people is expensive and tends to be difficult to justify to the public. So major wars are never driven by a single motive. They're usually a convergence of aligned interests. In this video, I'll be focusing on just two
And they're also the two. I hate the rich and I hate you. Well, yeah, that's because I'm poor, bro. I'm broke.
that often go unmentioned: the petrodollar and the US-Israel alliance.
Well, I guess it depends on which corners you're in, but
petrol-
we seem to talk, you know, if you're in the right circles, I would say this talking point gets brought up a lot, actually, I would say.
US-Israel alliance. The petrodollar, for those unfamiliar, is quite simple. Unlike its golden age, US manufacturing is long dead. Instead, the US maintains its massive economy through controlling market access and financiering. This is rough for the average working American, but great for the financier class. The US dollar used to be backed by gold, but now is officially backed by nothing. That's why the Fed can keep printing it out of thin air. But then how does it
Okay, little bit of a clarification there. The US dollar has not been backed by gold for a very fucking long time. The only way you could get gold out of the US dollar prior to 1971 is if you were a international government. Your average US citizen could not go to the US government and say, "Give me gold for my dollar, sir." Not possible. The only things that could be, like, I guess, traded for gold were basically foreign accounts. So, like, the British government or Spain or Mexico, etc. They could go to the US government and be like, "Hey, we have X number of dollars. We'd like this in gold." And then the US would give them gold at a certain market rate. So your average person was not actually using gold-backed currency in the United States.
not lose all value as a result? Because everyone's forced to use it if they want to buy oil. The entire Western oil trade, almost the entire world's oil trade in fact, is forced to be bought and sold in US dollars. And every time a country decided they want to sell their oil in another currency, the US thought it was time to share some democracy. This is also how the US justifies its massive defense budget. Their finances are literally dependent on their power projection. Why does this matter now? Because Iran was successfully circumventing that system, secretly selling enormous quantities of oil to China using what was literally called a shadow fleet to get around US-controlled trade, a direct threat to the petrodollar. As such, the Strait of Hormuz proved itself to be a difficult and costly trade route to control. So what if a new trade route opened up and captured lots of the trade traffic that was originally going through the Strait of Hormuz? What if that trade route was managed by a more favored ally, perhaps even a greatest ally? Israel is in a very opportune moment. It is perfectly positioned to control the oil trade routes between 4 continents with geography alone. All it would need would be a few Saudi pipelines connecting to their port in Haifa and rails in Jordan. The only reason this hasn't happened yet is because no one's had a real need to, since the Strait of Hormuz worked fine. Until now. If this happened, it would turn Israel into the Rotterdam of oil, a position so privileged even Israel's own officials are calling this a rare window of opportunity and strategic windfall. And that brings me to the second motivation, political support for Israel.
That's the jump
For
scare.
debatable reasons, many Americans are in love with Israel. So if this war helps...
It's just
Well, it's because of, Christianity.
baby boomers are just brainwashed. I guarantee nobody under the age of 50 loves Israel. Maybe not literally no.
No. Evangelical Christians worship Israel.
Nobody. But the point is, the average American under 50 does not love Israel, no matter your political affiliation. I mean, there's definitely some of these dumber conservative types that are younger that at least begrudgingly tolerate Israel and might be able to justify in their head why they like it. But I genuinely think it's just like older Gen X and all the baby boomers that love Israel. It's not anyone on, I don't even want to say young, because like people in their 40s aren't young. But the point is, I don't think
Dude, who's that fucking gay ass little TikTok Christian kid? I don't fucking know his name, but he's like super gay looking, and he talks like a fucking Zoomer and like preaches and I don't remember his name, but he's like some TikTok pastor dipshit, and he is one of these Israel worshiping Christ cucks as well. So there is a thing in the younger generation.
real issue too isn't even necessarily like, okay, it's only the old people who think it. The old people also have all the money. I mean, the baby boomers have all of our money. So the young people don't control anything except their vote, right? Not that your voting really matters at this
narrow
point.
it down. There's some. That's what I'm saying though. There is like a large younger generation of these Christian teenagers and young adults that worship Israel.
But yeah, they're not just senile retards who are brainwashed. They also have all the money, which is a real problem.
Israel, it's easy to justify it as a moral crusade, but it also creates an interesting opportunity. What I'm going to discuss now is an unlikely scenario, but the fact that it's even on the table warrants discussions. What if down the line, after Israel takes control of the oil trade, they betray America and start selling oil in shekels? In one singular move, the US financial system is on the brink of collapse, and Israel elevates itself to a world power, especially if they secure an alliance of a larger nation of manufacturing, like India. It'd be near impossible for the US to justify a war against Israel, especially to their pro-Israel base, after just fighting a war for them. The more likely outcome, though, is a long-term US-Israel axis, with the US directly controlling the oil in the Americas and Israel controlling the rest. The entire world will be forced to engage in the current financial system, no matter how corrupt or predatory it becomes. The only ones outside their control would be the Russo-Chinese alliance, but they would not be able to stockpile enough oil to ever be able to be a threat, and therefore any possible resistance would be contained. Because don't forget, fighting wars requires oil.
Yeah, I think in the long term, that's not going to be our concern, though. The long term is going to be that, society's literally going to collapse because the only people who will be breeding will be, I won't even be racist, we'll just say idiocracy tier human beings, okay? The dumbest, most subhuman people will breed. And, anyone with a soul, with any fighting spirit, with any
intelligence will no longer be hereditary.
independent thought will go extinct and society will collapse, As much as you don't even have to view this as black pilling, it's actually arguably more white pilled than the alternative. The real black pill would be Israel wins,
all white people go extinct,
and they have a slave class of mystery meat people for the rest of time. I would say society collapsing is more white pilled than that, at least, because they'll lose too in the end, right? It's kind of an everyone loses situation. That's a little bit better than the elites winning, probably, I think.
Oh boy. More, I'm sure, great knowledge from women on the internet. Another foreigner who hates America
Which I was supposed to buy Raycon, which means we will have an acronym
chose
somewhere
to
in the
live here because, for some reason, America offered more opportunities than whatever country she crawled out of, which happens to be Australia in this case. So it's a very common occurrence. America bad, but I live here, make money here, and don't want to leave. So I guess it's not so bad after all, huh?
Of today's video. I had someone ask me on a stream the other day why Asian countries like Japan aren't facing the same truly insane wave of layoffs that the games industry in Europe and North America have been since 2022. We are over 50,000.
Oh my god. Because they don't hire a bunch of worthless women like you.
By the way, 50,000 people have lost their jobs in an industry that is making record money. If you would like a full breakdown of why we're at 50,000, here is a comprehensive video of why the games industry broadly is in the position that it's in. But when it comes to Asia specifically, I get why this is confusing, especially because a lot of Western studios, even ones who have faced tremendous layoffs, are owned by Asian companies. Sony is a great example, a Japanese company that recently shut down fairly beloved studio Bluepoint, who were based in Austin, Texas. Bungie, also owned by Sony, but operating out of Bellevue in Washington, recently lost 300 employees. Riot Games is 100% owned by Chinese mega publisher Tencent, and they've laid off just under 100 people this year across the US and Europe. Nintendo has done this. Square Enix did it very recently. It happens across. It's happening in other industries too, of course. Giant Japanese pharmaceutical company Takeda Pharmaceutical recently announced plans to cut 4,500 jobs in order to save around 200 billion yen annually. Yay for the stock market. And the employees that are being laid off are in Europe. Basically companies that are headquartered in Asia are still laying people off.
Yeah, they're getting rid of all their women. All the unnecessary white women and diversity hires. Good fucking riddance. We don't need your kind here.
Just not all that often in Asia. It does also still happen in Asia, to be clear. Sometimes Tencent did just lay off 100 employees from the Shenzhen China-based studio Teamy, I think is pronounced, studio group, who are most well known for mobile games like Call of Duty Mobile and Honor of Kings, for example. But most of the stories that I feel like I hear out of Asia are like the direct opposite. I'm reading this paragraph from Lewis Gordon at The Verge because they summarized it perfectly. It says, in recent years, Japanese companies and studios such as Sega raised salaries by 33%, Koei Tecmo upped wages by 23%, employees at Persona maker Atlas saw their incomes jump by 15%, and Nintendo gave its employees a 10% raise. Most recently, Capcom increased graduate salaries by 27.7%, describing it as an investment from the people who support the future of the company. And all of this is benefiting people specifically in Japan. So yeah, I get why it's confusing. Why are there so many layoffs in the US and Europe, even at Asian-owned companies, when they're Japanese?
Because worthless employees. Wow, this is really hard to put together, guys. I mean, this video must go hard as fuck if you're actually fucking retarded.
These counterparts are getting goddamn raises. The reason for this may shock you. Women.
Based.
I'm joking. It's actually the law and also culture. But let's start with the law, which is honestly...
No, women are worthless and should have never been in the video game industry in the first place.
Really gross, which you'll see when we get into it. But for the purpose
women have done nothing but ruin video games since their introduction into the industry. Period. Name one studio that's done well with the female lead.
of keeping this relatively cohesive, I'm going to largely look at Japan. And as part of that, I did interview Shuhei Yoshida, who is both Japanese and was the president of SIE Worldwide Studios, as in PlayStation Studios from 2008 to 2019, and two other Japanese games industry professionals who have asked to remain.
The only franchise you can actually name that was created by a woman is Uncharted. And the creator of that, Amy Hennig, has literally done nothing else. Literally nothing else since. Not a single game. So maybe it was just a fluke, bro.
Anonymous, the most that I can say is that one is a producer at AAA Studio effectively in Japan, and the other worked at Nintendo for many years, but no longer does. And we will hear from them right after this ad break. This message is sponsored by Raycon. It is back to school season, and whether you're a student or a parent, today I wanted to chat about something that I wish I had back when I was still in school, about 50 years. And they would like to see unless an employer can actually prove that they are firing someone for one of a few permissible reasons, that firing is considered abusive and is thus invalid and illegal. This is a whole process. The firing company straight up has to provide paperwork regarding whatever misconduct an employee may have committed, and there's a whole bunch of things taken into consideration surrounding this. It is a huge deal. Like, what are the damages caused by the employee's misconduct? Does the employee have a history of misconducting? Or this is just a one-off thing? To what extent did the employee try to correct their behavior after doing their misconducting? Like, it's not just like they do one thing and they get fired. They legally have to be given second chances effectively, again, depending on the actual work crimes committed. You can't even fire someone for just being bad at their job without proving that you tried to get them a job that they might be better at, or training them for a different position. As such, there are many examples of Japanese employees being fired, suing their ex-employers, and winning, and as a result being rehired, which has got to be real awkward. Can you imagine? Other countries producing a lot of games right now, like South Korea and China, are of course a little different, legally speaking. They're different countries, but their regulations are ultimately a very similar effect. For example, a Chinese company recently tried to reassign a worker to a different department, and in doing so, cut down their salary, obviously, because they can't easily fire people. Reassignment is the next best bet. Specifically in this case, though, they were trying to replace that human worker with AI. The Chinese government has officially made it illegal to replace human workers with AI. You can do that in America, though. Fuck yeah, freedom. Comparatively, it's just real easy to fire people here in the US. The US has what they call an at-will employment system, and it's one of the only countries that operates this way in the entire world. It basically means you can be fired at any time for any reason, and that you can quit at any time for any reason. You can be fired in the US basically because your boss was having a bad day, and they will face zero legal repercussions for this. Turns out Montana is actually the only state in the entire country that doesn't technically operate this way. Shut up, Montana. The only exceptions to this rule in the US are discrimination-based. You can't be fired based on race, color, religion, sex, including pregnancy, sexual orientation, or gender identity, national origin, age, if you're 40 or older.
You absolutely should be able to be fired for race, religion, sex, whatever. You should be able to fire someone for any reason you want.
disability and genetic information, including family medical history. You can't be fired for reporting sexual harassment. You can't be fired for whistleblowing, and you can't be fired for union activity. Otherwise, game owned by a Japanese company didn't meet sales projections? Cool, let's lay off the Americans because it is incredibly easy to do so. Get them out of here. There are
Yeah, because they don't actually work. They don't actually fucking work. None of them work. What did Square Enix's Western employees actually fucking do? Nothing. Literally nothing. They made shitty localizations that objectively made the games worse than the Japanese counterparts.
Protections in place regarding layoffs specifically, but it's just you must give employees notice and pay and give them insurance for a specific amount of time. It's genuinely really depressing. It feels like the US and European employees are like stock market fodder for companies headquartered in countries where they aren't allowed to treat employees like actual trash. But even Europe, which of course also varies a ton by country, generally has much stronger worker protections than the US. China has actually developed a sort of term for their criticism of US treatment of workers and people in general. You may have heard of this. It's called the kill line. This is a term that originated on Chinese social media. This is so brutal. It kind of refers to a threshold at which a productive middle-class person living in the US is only one single medical, financial, or legal struggle away from irreversible collapse. They posit that most Americans live on this kill line.
Yeah, dude, I'd much rather work 16 hours a day in China. It's so much better.
To just one disaster or really bad day away from immense debt and
God, the Chinese have it so good.
homelessness, and this is a result of lack of social security systems or safety nets across the board. The at-will employment system clearly contributes here, and it means that a lot of the rest of the world, including games industry professionals globally, including working in Asia, see the
Guys, I would so much rather work 16-hour days in China for no additional pay because it's expected of me. I don't ever want to leave the factory for 6 months straight. You know, I want to sleep in 5-tier bunk beds with all of my coworkers after we, do the same repetitive task for those 16 hours. You know, just, it sounds like a utopian wonderland that I just can't wait to go visit one day. This is just so retarded, bro. The Chinese have one of the worst work cultures in the fucking world. You're literally a fucking slave to your job. They literally live in the factories they work in. But yeah, dude, the Chinese are the fucking moral authority on work-life balance.
US system as just incredibly brutal. I mean, I personally have terrible insurance that I pay $500 a month out of pocket for. And if I were to get into an accident and lose a limb, I think I would have spent my life savings probably within the first hour of being hospitalized. Like, the ambulance ride itself would wipe out my entire bank account. That's why it's like GoFundMe or nothing in the US, really. If you weren't good at socializing in the US, honestly, you're kind of screwed. Like, better hope you have some friends who are willing to write a nice paragraph about you and share a link, my guy. That's how it works here. If not, guess you'll just die. But speaking of fun cultural quirks like dying because you weren't friendly enough, Japan specifically has some fun ways around not being able to legally lay people off. If by fun, I mean basically torture.
The ironic thing is with this, no one in the United States dies waiting for treatment. Tens of thousands of people in Australia, in Europe, in, insert whatever other country you want with socialized medicine. Tens of thousands of people in those countries die awaiting medical treatment because of how overwhelmed their fucking healthcare systems are. Say what you will about the United States, you will not die from lack of treatment. You will in Europe. So,
which, at this point, it's torture being laid off. Considering everything we just spoke about, I'm going with the workplace torture. It's not all sunshine and rainbows in Japan, obviously. They basically just have different means of dealing with these ongoing struggles in the industry. Madogawa is a term that means seats by the windows, where certain employees, whether that is employees that are not performing well professionally or a company is actually looking to downsize, they are literally...
That's how your mom died? Yeah, it happens to a lot of people. It's the reason why wealthy Australians, Canadians, Europeans travel to the United States to get elective surgeries and shit done outside of their socialized medicine, because they would have to wait months in some cases to get a life-saving procedure that can be done in a matter of hours in the US. You literally show up to a hospital and within a couple hours they're already operating on you. So, yeah.
The seats by windows because it's so difficult to fire people. So I asked Shuhei Yoshida specifically about this, as there aren't a ton of official sources on the topic, and he said these employees are given no daily tasks and are encouraged to find new jobs outside the company. They are still paid by the company, so some employees just spend time in the seats doing nothing and collect salaries, but others use this time to find new jobs outside the company. Basically, they try to bore people until they leave. Companies also work around these restrictions by relying more heavily on contractors. It's much easier to cut contractors, being that they can just not renew contracts, same in the US. And even beyond that, a reduction in outsourcing has actually made it look like the workforce is not diminished in Asia because full-time employees have not been affected, but overall jobs actually have. So considering all of this, that they are still attempting various ways to get rid of people in a just significantly more challenging legal system, why is Japan still giving out raises? This ties into Japan's post-war lifetime employment system. We're going back to World War II. After World War II, Japan...
No, it's because the Japanese are actually making good shit that sells well. Under budget. So they don't have a bunch of worthless employees just loitering around making their shit worse. They have actual skilled developers who know what the fuck they're doing, who make good games, and as a result, they make a lot of money. Wow. Shocking.
Had to rebuild an economy that had been devastated by war while also rapidly industrializing. So Japanese companies built this model where they recruited workers straight out of university, trained them internally.
They're not hiring people like Alanah to write dog shit fucking stories like God of War fucking Laundry Edition.
Extensively, and sort of as an exchange expected them to stay with the company for most of their careers, if not their entire careers. This culture varies person to person and company to company and isn't as prevalent as it once was, but it's still a very significant difference to how Western countries tend to approach the job market. And there are huge upsides. Shuhei said, Japanese employees in the traditional Japanese companies tend to see the company they work for as more than the place that they get income, but see it as a community they belong to. They believe management and other employees are community members, and harmony is very important for everyone. Which, yeah, sounds kind of lovely. There are also, obviously, downsides. Japan is notorious for its insane work hours, for example, and for the corporations themselves, it has actually made the job market uniquely very, very competitive. On this, Shuhei said, as the number of new graduates from universities reduces every year, companies in the competitive industry, like the video game industry, find the only way to hire talented new graduates is to raise salaries. The ex-Nintendo employee that I spoke to said, raises are part of an ongoing effort to both cultivate loyalty and project an image of job security in order to attract the best.
You hear that, guys? That's why they want to dump millions and millions and millions of Africans in Japan. You heard that, right? As the population goes down, they have to pay people more. That's why this whole fear-mongering about population collapse is happening in the first place. Because the central bankers are very upset that there's not enough goyim to pay slave wages to in the West anymore. And they don't want to pay you what you're actually worth, which is why they put women in the workplace in the first place, so that they could lower salaries effectively by 50%, while also increasing your cost of living so they can make the money back. But, yeah, this is exactly what we've talked about in the past. Where when population goes down, cost of living goes down, and wages go up. Because we live in a technologically advanced society where we literally don't need fucking meat slaves. But, you know, if cost per goyim goes up too high, then, you know, we gotta dump third worlders into that nation.
Possible candidates. Because Japanese workers will often stay at companies until retirement age, which is around 60 in Japan, you have to impress talented workers from before they even join if you ever wish to work with them. An added challenge here is that their population is pretty rapidly shrinking, and thus their recruitment tactics have become even more competitive. The Japanese population has gone down by 3 million people in the last 5 years, which is pretty wild. So basically, Japanese companies have been trying to be as appealing as possible to high-quality workers, lest they not be able to access them at all, ever. This is helpful to the Japanese games industry in another way. It might seem obvious, but retaining talent is especially valuable in long-term creative projects like game development, and I mean literally valuable, like monetarily valuable. The Japanese producer that I spoke to said that the cost of hiring a brand new employee in order to replace someone who has left would be over $100,000 US in Japan. The loss of experience and company understanding is one thing, but time and investment needed to train someone new into a non-junior role is another, especially when Japanese companies very regularly train their employees across multiple disciplines. And yeah, I mean, it takes years and years to replace this kind of expertise, which is akin to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Final Fantasy Remake Trilogy director Naoki Hamaguchi recently told Bloomberg that staff retention is one of the main reasons he thinks that the trilogy has been so successful and that they've been able to produce these huge games so quickly. Which, yeah, games are not factories where you can just swap one guy for another guy and get the same output. A senior designer, a programmer, artist, or writer has years of institutional knowledge about why something works the way it does at a certain studio in a certain engine and what has failed.
Writers, yeah. Dude, Todd Howard is your example. Holy fuck. Yeah, dude, Todd Howard has great, vast knowledge of how, you know, the intricacies of game development work. Fuck that, dude. Todd literally was banned by his own company from coding because of how dog shit he was.
Before, thus what mistakes not to make again. This is the kind of knowledge that people don't really tend to write down. It's somebody's lived experience that really only lives in their brains. You lose all of these things with layoffs. How weird that only Japanese CEOs seem to have figured this out. But yeah, it means that the potential for high-quality games is higher, which could inherently lead to less layoffs. A wonderful cycle. Japanese leadership also seems to think employee morale is valuable for some reason, which, why? In 2013, Satoru Iwata famously cut his salary by 50% in order to protect employees from job.
Employee morale. Dude, again, Western developers work in daycare centers. They literally work in adult daycares. They would fucking shudder at the sight of a Japanese office.
Cuts after the Wii U
where you're not even allowed to talk out loud in certain areas.
Poorly, he said, if we reduce the number of employees for better short-term financial results, employee morale will decrease, and I sincerely doubt employees who fear that they may be laid off will be able to develop software titles that could impress people around the world. He continued, I also know that some employers publicize their restructuring plan to improve their financial performance by letting a number of their employees go, but at Nintendo, employees make valuable contributions in their respective fields, so I believe that laying off a group of employees will not help to strengthen Nintendo's business in the long run. Studies back this up. Oxford found that workers are 13% more productive when happy. They work faster, harder, take less sick days, have a positive impact on the other employees around them, and are less likely to leave. Who'd have thought? Crazy. Hidetaka Miyazaki, the president of From Software, also agreed with Iwata, saying, I think it was the old old ex-president of Nintendo, Iwata-san, who said that people who are afraid of losing their jobs are afraid of making good things. I'm paraphrasing that, but I totally share this fear. Basically, Japanese companies are not magically immune from the financial struggles the games industry is facing, nor are they any more charitable than American companies. They are still laying off plenty of people. A company is a company is a company. Really, they're just operating under different legal parameters and a different business culture in general. It is much easier, almost infinitely easier, to lay someone off in the US from a legal standpoint, and doing so doesn't fly in the face of a long-established corporate culture that really focuses on long-term employee retention. There are, of course, as alluded to, many downsides of not being able to fire workers who aren't performing, and Japanese workers still have their fair share of mistreatment, but I will say it's pretty difficult to argue against one of them. People can surely build better games when they don't spend every morning wondering if they're the next one to get fired.
Yeah, all these developers who have been fired deserve to be fired, and I hope more of them get fucking fired as well. In fact, I hope every single Western developer gets fucking fired. I hope the entire industry crashes and all these people completely go homeless, because they deserve it for ruining this industry, period. None of them deserve the jobs that they have. Name one Western studio that has gotten better. There isn't one. There's not a single studio in the Western games industry that is better off now than it was during the 360 generation. And that's a fact, bro. Not one. They have all deteriorated. They're bloated, rotting, just disgusting, maggot-filled corpses of what they used to be. The name may be the same, but the people working there are not. Total gaming industry death. Epic Games? I don't think so, bro. You go from pumping out bangers like Years of War to fucking Fortnite? Fuck that. Fuck that. Alright, we'll see what the fuck this is, but... Wow, this is exciting.
Хотел больше. Что?
Слышь, ты чё, охуел, блядь?
Жесть.
We need to deploy 50,000 Russians into San Francisco immediately. We'll have a game of Smear the Queer, but with grenades.
Я такой все время по сторонам смотрю, типа...
Чё? Чё он сказал?
Ну, мнение людей нормально.
This is why they hate them, dude. Russia's not as gay as Tel Aviv.
Все такие, типа, будут проходить такие...
Oh my god, he's still grifting this shit. You got it wrong, buddy. Let it go, dude. You were wrong.
Hey guys, it's Jason Schreier here, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about the sexual abuse in Blizzard. I'm I'm totally not gay.
Yeah, fuck you. That grifting piece of shit for months, you know, acted like there was this massive lawsuit, criminal convict. Nothing came of it. Literally nothing came of it. Bring back the breast milk bandits. They knew how to run a game company.
All right, awesome. Thanks, nigga. All right.
Let's see. Where am I? Oh, there we go. Incognito Wizard with the 2. I only hear good news with this scary layoff. Exactly, man. I cheer every time I hear about layoffs. It makes me happy. You know, these pretentious douches in fucking, you know, California and Washington, etc. in the video game industry deserve exactly what comes to them. I mean, just look at those Bethesda employees that were protesting, man. They're absolutely revolting subhumans. Daryl Zone with the 2, that good RTU line is golden. I agree.
God!
An Incognito Wizard with the 2, Westerners need to cut the rot and hire talent. Yeah. Well, the problem is you need to stop making your companies public. So that's the real issue at play. Stop selling your companies to people who want to subvert them. Is the long and short of it.